Guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be looking at it's going to be a channel called Story Booth. It's really good. It's different stories of what people have had to go through and stuff. So yeah, we'll watch. I never thought this would happen to my family. The first, yeah.
It all started one Sunday night when me and my mom and two sisters were at church. My dad wasn't there because he had work. He worked as a police officer and sometimes had to work night shift. As we were at church, I heard that my good friend Ryder's dad wasn't doing too well. He had lung cancer and he was in the hospital. He wasn't going to be here much longer, and it was just now hitting Ryder that he wasn't going to have his dad anymore. And it was really sad, and I felt awful for Ryder. But the thought crossed my mind, what if that was someone in my family? But I just brushed it off, thinking that would never happen to us. Later we got home and it was pretty late, so I decided to try to go to bed. Later that night, I heard somebody stomping through the house. I went out of my room to find my mom in a panicked voice at the door. There was an officer standing outside our door. That wasn't our dad. And then I heard crying in the living room. I was scared to go in there to see what had happened. I saw my aunt and two sisters all crying in the living room. That's when I knew something was up and became worried. She told me my dad had been shot. I was shocked at this. This couldn't be happening to me. I've seen this on the news, but I didn't think it would ever happen here. Later we were told he was okay, but he would have to have a major surgery, and we didn't know if he would walk again. This scared me. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what it would be like if my dad couldn't walk. I didn't know what it would be like for him to lose his leg. It would be tough on us. It would be hard. All of our family began to pray, and we prayed and waited hours and hours to get more updates, and I was so scared. And we soon turned the ring off the phone. We pounced on it to hear what they had to say. They said he was extremely lucky. The bullet went in beside his kneecap, missing all bone, and it was only 25 centimeters away from a main artery. And if it would have hit that artery, he could have probably bled out and died. And that thought scared me. But he was okay, and we thanked God. He's back at work, and he's about to get a dog. He has a little bit of PTSD from it. When he gets scared, it really scares me. But everything's fine, and I think it'll all be back to normal soon.
That'd be really worrying to have to worry about that, or for that to happen to my dad. Next we'll do. Oh, that was an accident. We'll do the scariest moment of my life.
So me and one of my friends, we were driving through the mountains to get home from our college campus and go back home and see our families. And we were going downhill in the mountains, so a lot of people were on their brakes. But this one person behind me was not paying attention. He was tailing me, and the person in front of me was on his brakes too. So I knew I was going to have to slow down, but I knew the car behind me wasn't going to notice, and I was scared he was going to hit me. So in my eyes, I thought, hey, if I wave my hand out the window and say, like, back up, he'll back up. I didn't have any ill intentions by it, but this made him really, really mad. So I was pretty frustrated too, because I felt unsafe by him being so close to me, and I let my emotions get the best of me. So he ended up taking an exit off of the highway a couple miles after that happened, and that whole time he was still tailing me, still following really close. So I took the exit, and without thinking, I flipped him off, thinking he won't be able to get to my exit on time and follow me. But he did. He actually cut over 3 lanes of traffic and over a median to follow us. It was so unbelievably dangerous, and I'd say in this whole entire situation, he probably almost hit 5 cars in this process. So I was scared when I saw that he was still following us, and I thought of the movies instantly where when you're being chased, you just take a sudden turn and hopefully they won't react in time and you'll lose them. So that's exactly what I did, and he actually almost hit me when I did that, but he also took that turn, and I was terrified at this point. And I saw that this guy was digging through his glove box, might have had a weapon or something, so I thought we were in immediate danger. So we were in a lot of trouble, and I was doing whatever I could to get away from this guy. And so I was speeding through this neighborhood, hoping that no one would jump out in the street because I would definitely hit them. I was so terrified. But we ended up making it out okay because his car got stuck in a patch of snow. And I ended up hitting a trash can getting away from him, but everything worked out well. So moral of the story, don't let your emotions get the best of you when you're driving. Just stay safe and know that you're not invincible on the roads.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be pretty scary. I helped injured koalas? Ooh, let's see what this one's about.
Alright, we're ready. There we go.
My name's Romy, and I live in Australia. As you've probably heard or seen on the news, Australia's going through one of the worst bushfires we've ever recorded since the bushfires on Black Saturday in 2009. When I first heard the news, I was distraught. I was watching my country, my beautiful country, burn in front of my eyes. After scrolling on Google and seeing thousands and thousands of photos of animals suffering in Australia, I knew I couldn't take it anymore and I had to do something. So I went to school and I told the craft teacher, and we made a plan that with my help and hers and all the students that wanted to, we were going to help donate and make blankets and pouches for the animals. Blankets because after the bushfires, when they've been through horrific temperatures, they can suddenly get very cold and they need some blankets at night time. It is very confusing for their body to get out of horrid temperatures and then be in cold temperatures. So they need very warm blankets. We're also trying to make a lot of pouches for the baby animals that have lost their parents and need to feel comfortable and feel loved in the pouch, just like one that they would be in their mother's. We're trying to make over 200 pouches and blankets. And so far it's been amazing. I couldn't believe how many students in my school were willing to help us. And I'm pretty sure, even though we've only been a week of making it, we are going to hit the 200. Thank you for letting me share my story. And please remember to donate to Australia in this time of need. Thank you.
Aw. Yeah, that was a bad time for Australia when they were burning up. I lost my car in a tragic accident.
This happened December 14th. I was in bed, just trying to relax after a long 10-hour shift from work, and I got a text message from my sister saying that our cousin just died. From what I heard, he died in a car crash. Learning more about it when I got to my uncle's house that he was drinking and driving. I've never felt a pain like this in my life before, especially with someone that close. I grew up with my cousin, literally, since childhood. Like, he's known me since I was a baby, and he was, like, a little bit older than me. Like, say 5 years older than me. We would play together, and growing up, we would play video games together and ride around our bikes around the park and play video games on the computer as well. Like, his family and our family were very, very close. Like, we have lots of love in the family. And what's horrible is that the day before he died, he got to meet his new baby nephew for the first time, and the next day he was just gone. Going over to my uncle's house, it was very heartbreaking because I've always seen him as a strong man, and he just lost his baby. Like, my cousin was the youngest of his family, and it's just hard because you just want to think it's a nightmare and you don't want this to happen, and like, you can't believe that someone you love is gone, and it's just something you don't want to process, something you don't want to believe in. You just wish it was a nightmare. You just want to wake up and hope that it doesn't happen. And it's just horrible because I felt so much guilt because I always wanted to reconnect with him ever since he moved to a different state. And, like, yeah, we still love each other. I just wish... I still feel this guilt of not being able to reconnect with him. And it's just hard right now because not only did I lose my grandpa this year, I lost someone who I thought was my older brother. So what I'm trying to say right now is cherish every moment with your family. You'll never know when they're gone in a split second. And of course, don't drink and drive. Just don't.
Yeah, honestly, everyone should know not to drink and drive. So embarrassed when my teacher read my notes. Oh, wait.
See me and John, both useless.
Okay.
So, me and my best friend Ellie were sitting in class and we were just waiting for our new history teacher because our last history teacher got pregnant. And we were talking, everything was fine. Then the door opened and this guy walked in. Then he said he was going to be our new history teacher. We just thought, oh my god, this super cute guy is gonna be our new teacher. Our mouths were literally open and we couldn't even talk because he was so cute. And you could see his muscles, his abs through his t-shirt. And we were just giggling, talking about him. Then in the middle of class he said we should shut up because we were really loud. We really wanted to continue talking about him because this was so overwhelming. And I started writing a letter for her that I was going to give to her to read. And he saw me writing this letter and he took it out of my hand and decided to read it in front of the whole class. I was shocked. I said, no, don't read that. This is super private. And he said, no, I insist. I was like, oh my god, yeah, okay, this is the end. Bye. And he started reading it out loud for the whole class to hear. He read, oh my god, Ellie, don't you think the new history teacher is so freaking hot? Oh my god, I want to marry this guy. He turned bright red. I turned bright red. The whole class was laughing. And he said, I'm sorry about that. And then he said, Lucy, can you come to my desk after class? And I was like, oh my god, please, I just want to die. So after class, I went to his desk and I said, yeah, I'm so sorry. This will never happen again. And I was obviously just joking. And I turned red and I was sweating. I was laughing, but I actually wanted to cry. I went out of the classroom and ran into the girls' bathroom. And I just sat there and I was just crying. And then my best friend came in and said, oh my god, are you okay? What happened? Oh my god. What did he say? And I just told her what happened. And she was like, oh my god, that is so embarrassing. So yeah, that was my story.
Oh. Oh, what'd they do to her?
When I was about 5 or 6, there were these teenagers, and they got bored in the middle of the night, and they stole their grandpa's gun and started to drive around. They didn't have any intent to hit or try to kill or try to hurt anybody, but they started to shoot around. They shot at an abandoned house down on my street, and they completely destroyed a truck, and they thought my house was abandoned, so they shot through my window. It shot through my arm, barely missing my head. I was very little. I didn't know what was happening, so I kind of woke up. My arm was aching a little bit, and I felt really sweaty. I remember kicking off all of my blankets. And it was really dark, and I was super tired, so I didn't really know what was happening. So I tried to go back to sleep, but the pain didn't really stop. So I finally got up, and I decided to go tell my dad. I couldn't see anything. It was really dark. So I managed to stumble my way down the hall, and it was dark, so he didn't see what was happening either. He asked what was wrong, and I told him that my arm hurt, and he thought that I just slept on it wrong because I sleep like a maniac. He let me in and told me to lay down on a giant pillow thingy we had. It was shaped like a lion. It was very cute. So I laid on the giant pillow thingy, and my dad turned on the TV, and that's when he noticed that I was drenched in blood. I was covered in blood, and he started to freak out. So he turned on the light, and we looked at my arm. There was a wound on the top of my arm and on the bottom. I didn't really know what was happening. I was just kind of whoa, there's a hole in my arm. So my dad thought there was a razor blade in my bed or something. He didn't think I got shot. Nobody in our house heard the gunshot. So he picked me up and started carrying me to his car. But then a police officer stopped him and asked if I was hurt, if they knew that I was shot. And then they said that we needed to wait for an ambulance to come. And they finally got me and managed to help me, and I was in the hospital for 3 days, and I got a bunch of cards from my class, and that was really nice. The 3 teenagers were caught, and they were sent to jail. My arm is okay. It still works perfectly. I'm able to draw and animate and do all the things that I love still. So I guess it worked out in the end.